think the defense obviously is going to be last, but I think that's where this whole talk about what they're going to do this year as we get into the season should be about the dignified tank, or should they be focusing on a play-in, playoff? I'm actually all for the play-in, playoff. This team needs that already. I think so. Scotty definitely needs it. RJ's a veteran too. Yak is a veteran, but they're still young. And I don't care about all this timeline stuff. I think in terms of transactions, we'll get to that in a second. But I really think it should be about shooting for a play-in. Get that early playoff experience. Trying to even just get into the first round. What that feels like if they lose. What that feels like, because next year they could hit the ground running. And again, this comes into talks again about the draft. First of all, you look at the 2019 team. That entire team there was no lottery picks on that team. That's the first thing. Okay. Obviously, from our own experience in this organization, we do not need a lottery pick. We already have them on the team. They're already developed. That's the first thing. Second thing, and back to the first thing, yes, it does matter if you have so many lottery picks on your team. Again, look what's going on in Philly, Washington. Even Atlanta went through it for a bit, and now they're looking like a different team because they didn't focus on that. So listen, this year, I think it should be about the play-in at least. You get back to what they could do in terms of adding to this team. Like you saw, if with last year's draft, basically this team was remade in one draft, or between two drafts really, with getting Grady, and then drafting Jacoby, J-Mo, Jamal Shed, finding Jameson Battle, again, Masai, Bobby, Dan Tolzman, they did their thing. So you look at the draft capital, which, hey, guess what? Everyone's looking at that Pascal trade now like, oh, wow, okay. We got some assets out of that. And because we hit on the draft, because we should trust our executives more, now that trade's looking pretty good, isn't it? Just like the OG trade is looking very good right now. And shout out to OG, he's playing great ball for the Knicks. Great. That's great. But so is RJ. We know IQ's going to be a stud. He just has to get healthy. And guess what? That pick turned into J-Mo. Listen, use that draft capital. Bruce Brown, you're a great guy. Kelly Olynyk, you're a great, good Canadian. They're valuable to other teams. And the extra draft pick could be of great value. So you look at what could really work with this team. Sasha Vucevic. You know what? I don't even need Zach LaVine, to be honest. In fact, don't even target him. But can Vucevic be had with Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a draft pick? I would do it. I don't know. A stretch five like that who averages 11 rebounds, can hit from three, kind of create his own shot in the paint. Partner him with Yak, and you have Chris Boucher as emergency backup. I just think something like that would be a great transaction for this team. I'm telling you, this team obviously needs to develop and play together, but what they really need is a guy like Vucevic who could again play the stretch three, but could also play some defense. You can lock them into a defensive system. And again, you look at OKC and adding Hartenstein, he can kind of play that role, but also do what Yak can, which is shoot the three. So that's where you get a bit of what Chet does. Okay, Vucevic can kind of make up in that area as well. So, targeting someone like him, you hope the Bulls don't don't say, well, if you take Vucevic, then you also have to take Zach LaVine. I would just go after him. Is there anyone else out there who would look similar? I'm not sure, but if you could pull that off and somehow bring JV back on something crazy, if anyone could do it, Masai can. Man, imagine having Yak, Vucevic, and JV as depth. Now we're talking. Like, come on. You got your whole squad right there. You have the young guys, you have good vets down the middle, guys who won't let anyone get punked on that team. Masai, Bobby, make it happen, yo. Honestly, Vucevic, JV, you don't need to add a Cooper Flag to this team. If somehow you end up in the lottery, I would even go for Ace Bailey over Cooper Flag. I think Cooper Flag has a lot of flags. Okay, like we still don't know much about this guy. So, and I think he does a lot of what you already have and need on this team. So yeah, what I would do is add the big men down the middle. A little bit more toughness in JV, a little bit more offense on the perimeter in Vucevic, and keep Yak. And let's go, man. Let's see what that team with what they have on offense already. Kind of shore up the defensive end there, and let's not. I didn't even talk about Davion and Jamal, what they bring with defense. We know Davion's nickname Off Night for a reason. That guy's relentless on defense. And now Jamal's learning from him. And Jamal has the Kalo kind of leadership qualities in him and his good vibes. Like, guys, you already know how I feel about this team. They look so good. I don't care what kind of losses they take. This is not any kind of 5-year rebuild going on in Toronto. No one down south is paying attention. I love it that way. Let them always keep doubting us. And even our own Toronto media, a lot of them are acting like Masai doesn't know what to do. I've seen articles in Toronto Sun, in Globe, trying not to pay attention to those publications anymore on TSN, the Josh Lewenbergs, the Mike Granges, the Overdrive guys. I thought Vince was a big thing and he changed basketball in this country. Well, not really, man. Not really, because there's a lot of doubt with this team. Just tried to break it down a little bit with comparing them to what's going on with OKC. And we're close. And let's not forget, OKC wasn't a full tank. They traded for Shea. The only tank they really did was to get Chet. But they drafted well. They were always competitive. Shea, played in the playoffs. Chris Paul was there his first year. They still had Russ, I believe, at that time too. He made the playoffs, and I think they were bad for a year. They got Chet, and then things took off from there after Chet was out for 1 year. They were still bad, kind of bad, but I think that team before last year's OKC team, the team that kind of was showing signs. I think that's where the Raptors are right now. They're showing signs. Again, they haven't been healthy. They've had a tough schedule to start the season. The signs are there, and they just need to keep building. My suggestion is go after Sasha Vucevic, try and bring JV back, get him out of Washington. He's not making a lot of money, and we have the draft capital and the assets to pull something like that off, I believe. Let's go Raptors. And again, shout out the Toronto Tempo. I'm so looking forward to seeing what they do. I gotta check out what they did with the expansion draft. Hopefully I can do a little segment about them. I'm gonna see how the expansion draft went. But all of this was really on my mind about the Raptors. They got the Mavs tonight. Obviously that won't be easy. The Mavs obviously lost in the finals last year. Always gonna be a tough out. They got 2 amazing superstars. I don't know if Luka's still hurt or what's going on, but Kyrie always does his thing, and the Mavs always present an issue. So enjoy the game tonight. Leafs are in Pittsburgh. I'll be talking about my Steelers and recapping probably on Monday. So I hope you guys tune in. Please spread the word. And if you like these segments that I've been doing on my teams, but I'm going to be talking about other teams. I call that segment This and That. You'll see probably one of those drops soon. So let me know what you guys think. Please visit my YouTube channel as well. And I'll be talking to you guys again soon. Have a good weekend, guys. Peace.